Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back, and by now you know how we do it. You get me raw, I don't edit. If I have to get up, if I have to sneeze, scratch my nose, whatever, you see it as it happens. I do not take the time to edit. I'm okay with my life unedited. Anyway, that being said, take a look at today's thumbnail. Can you say, oops, I was wrong? A lot of people cannot. And though I don't know if I'm democratic on this channel or not, I absolutely know that I am a Christian on this channel because I'm a Christian on every channel because I'm a Christian in real life, and that's not a light switch you can flip up and down. That being said, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you hands down knew you was wrongly wrong, but you didn't want to give up the fight because you A, did not have a face saving way out, which means you didn't want to be embarrassed, you didn't want to be cut down, you didn't want to be picked on, whatever. Or do you just say, oh, my bad, you right, I'm wrong? Now, I know we can all say it in a sarcastic way. I know we can all say, okay, yeah, whatever, you right, I'm wrong. All right, on today. But have you ever said it in a way where you actually meant it? Let me tell you, I have no problem saying I'm wrong because I have no problem being wrong. At the end of the day, like I said, you get these videos just how it is, just how I am. And you know what? This video was actually supposed to come out yesterday on Wednesday, but I was too busy arguing with an AI bot. I said it. I was too busy arguing with an AI bot to get this video out because I was trying to do some different things for my Christian group, and it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. And you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. At the end of the day, in all humility, all sense of awareness, I went to that bot and said, you know what? I'm sorry. You did not deserve to be treated by me the way you were treated. And when I say I treated it annoyed, I treated it annoyed. Because I was annoyed because I wanted something specific and I couldn't figure out how to word it in a way that it would do what I wanted it to do in a consecutive, constant form. And so I got very annoyed. And I figured out that there are a lot of bots in my life. And even though they're bots, in all humility, to keep myself humble, I had to come to the realization, which I did. And like I said, I apologized to the bot. The bot told me, don't worry about it. You're good. Don't matter. Don't care because they don't have emotions like I do. So they don't care because there is no care to give. And so, but I know I need that bot. The same way I need this bot that's helping me do this video right now that helped me put is actually the bot that helped me put together the graphics that you see behind you. Okay. And so I need these bots to help me do what I do to keep my flow going the way my flow goes. They don't need me. I use more bots in my online day to day life than probably anybody I know. And I know quite a few people. I use um I use and I don't know if I can say these out loud because they don't promote me and I don't promote them and I don't want to get copyright issues. So I'm just going to tell you what I call them, okay? I have one that helps me do a lot, and it is connected to my browser. I call this bot Co. There's another one and Co is completely free and does phenomenal work. There's another one I use that's called Blah GPT. I use Blah GPT and the graphic sense and the placement sense and the coding sense and the whole nine. And so I couldn't get this bot to do what I wanted it to do, and I got annoyed and I started writing in all caps, and I'm like, no, and I'm, what the hell? What are you doing? And I realized it's not the bot's down. It's not the bot's failure to communicate. It is my failure because this is a program, and it's going to do what you, the human, program it to do. That being said, I was not. I was failing to program it, and I was annoyed with an inanimate object, and I was annoyed at something that wasn't doing because of my shortcomings. And I apologized to it, to whatever you want to call it. Um, so yes, I have no problem saying I'm sorry. I have no problem letting you know that I'm annoyed. Now, here's the thing with me, I have no problem letting you know that I am annoyed and that you are working up to said level. And why would you continue to do that? Because I will let my husband know that I am annoyed. I will let my sons know I'm annoyed. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing in the world to do with you. Absolutely nothing to do with you. You just walked into the room or you've been sitting there. Like my husband, he sits over there and he plays his game, and rarely do we talk when he's playing his game. Rarely do we talk when I'm doing my online stuff. We do communicate. We're not sitting here ignoring each other, but if you know, you know. So that being said, I will let him know I'm getting annoyed. Has nothing to do with you. Let's please not make it about you. In other words, look, I'm annoyed as hell at something that's going on in front of me. Because, like I said, he's over there, and something could be going on right here, and he's over there, so he's not here. It's not about him. Let's not make it about you. My son can come in from my front door or from my hallway, and I let them know, hey, I'm annoyed. Don't talk me to death. It's not about you. Let's not make it about you. I'm annoyed at something that's going on. I have no problem letting people know before it gets to an I'm sorry stage. So if I can keep it from getting to an I was wrong or an I apologize stage, if I can let you know, and I appreciate it when they let me know, um, I used to tell them all the time, it's that time of the month. I had no problem letting a house full of guys at this point, but let me tell you, they will be very understanding when their wives and daughters uh, enter that stage of life. My sons will. Now, my husband, very understanding of his wife and his daughters. Okay. That being said, sometimes things happen, guys, and you can't avoid the situation of I was wrong. Oops, I was wrong. I'm sorry. So when you can't avoid the situation because you done something stupid or you done did something stupid or you done said something stupid, then are you a big enough, mature enough, well rounded enough person to say, dude, I was wrong. That it sucks. I was wrong, and yeah, that I was wrong. Me, I don't care. I don't have enough pride in me. Two things I try absolutely to not do is stand on the word of somebody else. Okay, and I'm quick to tell you, blah 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 yada yada blah, blah. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I heard. And I'm quick to tell people that. Because if it comes back that what I said was wrong, well, like I said, I'm sorry that that was not right. But I told you don't quote me on that because that's what I heard. Now, again, if it is actually something I heard, then I don't feel like I owe you a sorry if I told you up front. Now, that being said, if I tell you something like I'm standing on it and it's factual, and then you find out later it's not, and you prove it to me that's not, hey, I'm sorry. That was stupid. I heard it. I believed it. I ran with it. You know what I'm saying? Then it is easy to say I'm sorry. There should never be something that you are so hell bent on in life that you can't say you're sorry. Now, this I will say. This I will say because I did a video. If you go look back through my archives on toxic people, and that was probably right around the start of the year. I don't deal with toxic people, and I have no problem telling toxic people, look, it's not working out for us. Your personality don't work with my personality, and I'm sorry that it's like that. But I just can't. I can't. You know. And I let them know. Look, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I don't know why we not getting along. Blah 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 blah. But ching bye. I'm not gonna keep subjecting. I don't have a problem saying I'm sorry. I don't have a problem saying I'm wrong. I don't have a problem with all these different things. But this I'm gonna say. I'm not going to keep myself around people that I continuously have to be sorry around. So that being said, like I said, I sit here and I do my thing. My husband sits over there. And I talk at the TV and I talk at the dogs and I talk to the computer. And sometimes I'm on my phone. And if every time I made a burp, fart, cough, sneeze noise, he was like, pow, looking at me like I had lost my mind. And why you making noise? Why you moving? Why you doing? You get on my nerves. You talking? I'm trying to concentrate. I'm playing my game. If and he's not by any means, but if he was like that, and I constantly found myself saying I'm sorry 1,000 times a day, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. That's a toxic relationship, and if you're around people like that, you need to get the Zoom, get on up out of there because I can tell you that you should not be having to apologize to the same person for little to no reason on the constantly. Now again, I don't have a problem saying that I'm sorry because I'm not perfect and I do mess up. But if I constantly have to say sorry, then there's a clash of my relationship, my personality with yours, and then we have to figure out why. We have to figure out why there's a clash and what needs to be done about it. Can it be fixed? Can we rectify it and stay together? Or can we say our apologies and go our separate ways because we know that because I don't want to be around somebody that's constantly got to apologize to me either because they've gotten on my nerves doing stupid stuff. And so, that being said, I don't, if you're constantly doing stuff that's getting on my nerves, then I need you to get on gone too. Not just me, but I need you to get on gone. because apparently we are not good for each other. But, like, the flip of that is, like I said, ifin, and I said it, ifin, you make a mistake, say something, do something. A lot of times, like I said, I try to give myself that out. I will let you know. Look, blah 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 blah, yada yada, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, la la la. That's what I heard. I heard it on YouTube. I heard it on Facebook. I heard it blah say blah. Don't quote me on that, because if it ain't true, I don't know. It sound good, but if it ain't true, don't go win no arguments with that information I gave you, because I don't know if it's true. And I will let my people know that because I don't want to put them in a situation where they have to be like, I'm so sorry, I said something stupid. So if you gonna tell somebody something I said, start it out with I heard, hmm because that's how I do it. Because seriously, like, you know, I tell my husband all the time, oh, dude, I don't know if this is true, but I just got through watching a content creator on YouTube said that the Martians have landed and the little green men are running rampant. Now, don't quote me on that, because like I said when I started this conversation, that's what I heard, and that's what I tell him. You know what I'm saying? The little green men are running rampant, and that's what I heard. It sounded good. It sounded interesting. It sounded important. It sounded like it could be, but I don't know if it is. And I'll let him know, look, don't go to work and tell people that the planet's being invaded because the little green men are running rampant, because we don't know that. Because before dark tomorrow, you're going to hear about it wasn't the little green men, it was an asteroid, and it was just some lava rocks that fell off of the rock, and they was sprinkled out across a 2 foot radius, and there it is. And somehow, and the rock fell, and there was some lava rock sprinkled. Some donkey got there was little green men, and we was being invaded, because that's how people do it. And so, look, anything you hear, see, or watch on Facebook, YouTube, any of these contents, um, any of these platforms, rather, take it with a grain of salt. Even if you see it on the news, take it with a grain of salt. But like I said, some things are true, 90% aren't. And I generally start my conversation with, this is what I heard, this is what I saw, this is where I got it from. And if it's not true, oops. You know, a lot of times I try not to repeat things that I absolutely know aren't true unless it's just funny, and then I'm like, man, this person said la 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 la. We know it's not true, but it's funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? But again, coming back to the topic of conversation here is, if you find yourself in a situation, can you say, oops, my bad, I'm sorry, you're right? Can you Do you have enough maturity about yourself to not be embarrassed, to not be butthurt, to not have to be right, to not have to win the conversation, to just be, oops, I was wrong. Who cares? Who cares? You were wrong. Okay. You know, do you have the maturity level? Anyway, this was supposed to come out yesterday, like I started to say, but it didn't, because here's my scheduled book on when I'm going to say something, where I'm going to say it, what I'm going to say it about. And then I have that book, and then I have back here, if y'all are looking back here, y'all could zoom in on this maybe, I don't know. This is my Bible study books on that side, Bible study books on this side. the Bibles, the Bible study books. I got them everywhere, guys. And you know what? God be my witness. I'm not doing as much as I should or could. I I need to be spending more time with my father than I spend trying to educate people about him. It's like telling people about a pair of shoes but never getting to wear them. You could tell them all day long on many platforms in many ways and many styles, but you never actually got to wear them. And sadly, I could say that, my father, I am so sorry that I don't spend the time with you that you deserve. And I am sorry for that, Father. In Jesus' name. All right, guys, and I'm going to wrap up on that one. Again, I'm a Christian, and you get me unedited, you get me raw. So that is how it is. I can say I'm sorry. All right, guys, you can find me on Only Believe in One. Now, my thumbnail says find me on Facebook, but we are now on Discord as well as I am working on a website. So if you're not checking me out over there, then you're missing out. All right, guys. I love you with the love of the Lord. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs down. Give it a thumb sideways. Give it a thumb up your bum. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy and at the end of the day. I love you with the love of the Lord. And if you ever want to meet my big brother Jesus, drop me a line. I'll introduce you. Have a good one, guys.